Hi, I'm Kimberly. Welcome to Simply Living in a Small Town. Today is Tuesday already, again. Thank you so much to all of you who are watching because I truly do appreciate it. I want to say that first and foremost. Um, so I'm trying to think what is even going on. Yesterday was one of those blah Mondays for me. Sorry, I got to move this bag because it's driving me crazy. I had this out earlier. Um, I've got to get this stuff cleaned out in here. I remembered there were some things in there that I'm like, oh, that's where those are that I was looking for. You know how you put something somewhere and you think, well, I'm going to put it here because then I'll know where it's at. And then, I do that. And then months later, I'm like, don't know where it's at. And then I start like thinking, just calmly thinking. And I'm thinking that then I'll narrow it down usually to like, okay, I remember it here, remember it there, and then I'll usually track it down and find it. But yeah, I have totes in the bottom of this cabinet. I forgot were even in there. So yesterday I intended to do a video, and yesterday was it was one of those Mondays. It was one of those just blah Mondays for me anyway, because I just wore out. So we had it all right Easter. I mean, it was fine. It kind of seemed, I tried not to work, y'all, over the weekend. So Saturday we went and picked up my daughter and got her back. So that was kind of, I took her on Friday and then she came back on Saturday. Um, and then we got KFC chicken. If you don't know what that is, it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. And we got a Kentucky Fried Chicken meal and ate at a park after that. So it was nice. And we stopped at Aldi and I sent my husband in for milk and bread. Y'all, I sent him in for milk and bread, and he just just saying. Yeah. So he has ADHD with autism, and he has like really short-term memory issues. He will swear. I'll tell him something 3 or 4 times, and he'll swear I didn't tell him, or he just most generally just doesn't even remember. So I know it's a thing that, remind him like of appointments and things like that that I have coming up. So I sent him in there for milk and bread. And he came back out of the store with the bread. And I'm sitting there laughing hysterically, going, where's the milk? And then he kind of like, I could tell he gets back to the car and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, where's the milk? And he's like, I know, just. So he went back in there and got it. But anyway, yeah, we deal with that frequently. I'll send him up here to the grocery store for like 3 things. This has literally happened so many times. It's not funny, y'all. I'll send him for 3 things. He will literally get distracted. And I mean, it's to the point like I will literally even message him the 3 things, okay, so that he remembers when he gets in there. And he will get distracted and he will look at, all the stuff in the grocery store, and then he gets 1 or 2 of those items, and he'll even say, I got this and this. And I'm like, what about this? Before he gets home. And I'm thinking it's like the message above what you just sent me, and you didn't look at that and confirm first. But his brain doesn't work the same as mine because his brain is wired differently. I mean, that's a thing. So that's just kind of how that is. So anyway, then by Sunday, I tried really hard, y'all, not to work. And I mean, I don't know. We were home outside of going and getting her on Saturday. We were home then all day Sunday, minus the fact that my daughter and I ran up to the dollar store because I was like, oh, I still need to get like this. And I swear I spend more time at the dollar store. I don't know about y'all. I'm so thankful that there's a dollar store in our town because I literally am there like at least every other day picking up one or two things. It's like, oh my gosh. It's always something. But yeah, I was really trying hard not to work. I was telling myself it's Easter Sunday, you know, and I don't know. I still ended up doing some stuff, which was more than I'm sure what I actually should have. But I have not really done a whole lot of crochet. I will show you this shawl real quick because I am still working on this. So I got my whip bag out today. And my current whip bag. It has the shawl in it, it has the bag, and it has the Easter Bunny in it, which I didn't get. I've got to finish Ava's Easter Bunny. And the bag, I thought, well, I'm going to work on that. I tied on the yarn to the second panel today. Then I can't find the hook. So now I need to locate the hook, and it's one of those hooks that's like, it's the only one that I have like that. So yeah, I'm telling you, I was, yeah, like that today. So I did work on this. I've worked on this a little bit off and on this shawl. I'm just trying not to mess it up where I have it. Like, but so this is what it looks like now. It's, of course, it's getting bigger. I think it's turning out really cool and pretty. So, as you can see, I'm right down here. So I have almost row 23 done. And this is only like halfway, y'all. So, I mean, yeah, a little, slightly over halfway because it's a 45 row pattern. So, what are your thoughts? Is anybody going to weigh in the comments? Like, what do you think? Do you like it? No, you wouldn't do it this way. I think it's going to be pretty. So that's where I'm at on that. And like I said, I haven't really been crocheting outside of working on this. Which was just the easiest thing to pick up and go to. And this is double crochets, and it's just, I mean, I still have to read the pattern. But if you, excuse me, if you do this pattern, it's the chevron burst shawl on Premier's website. You'll see that it just like, it's every row is slightly different, but it's slightly like, instead of 13 double crochets in between your shells, which is what's creating this, pointy chevron here. So it'll be like 13 up to that. Then you either do a large shell or a small shell within that shell, and then you do like another 13 and skip 2 and do like, anyway, it's very easy, in other words. So I mean, you still have to look at each row, but as far as like what the pattern says, but in other words, once you get going in it and get the hang of it, like, it's, easy peasy. Okay, easy peasy. So if you want something easy, speaking of that, also, I know someone had mentioned in the comments last time that they may have to try this. You could very easily, y'all, just do this, and I'm actually wanting to do it at some point, but you could very easily just do this in acrylic yarn. Forget the cotton yarn, and just literally just do this pattern in acrylic, then you have like a fall or winter shawl, for when it's cooler. Speaking of cooler. It has not been cooler here. I mean, it's been literally, y'all, it's been perfect here. Perfect. Like 70 degrees. Over the weekend was wonderful. This is what I have left of the one yarn, so I'm just picking this up. Like 70s over the weekend. Outside of, we had some rain. Wasn't too bad, but I did have trouble like sleeping through that because I think it was between Saturday and Sunday. So that was another thing. I didn't get as good a sleep as I would have because it was really, thundering. It was thundering outside pretty loudly. And it was like very early Sunday morning. So that was another thing. Like I just I ended up getting up, then going to the bathroom, going back to bed, and it just, anyway, yeah. So I didn't get as good a sleep as I wanted, like, over the weekend. And, but it's been beautiful here. It was supposed to rain the first part of this week, and I'm so grateful. I am one of these that I check the weather constantly every day because it dictates a whole lot for me and my schedule as far as what I plan to do the next day. I have to have, like, the day before, like today, I would be planning out for tomorrow. I'm telling you, as if my life isn't like chaotic, because it is. It's like, I've always said it's controlled chaos, like, but I mean, I have to have for myself, um, you know, a list of what I'm doing the next day. My calendar is just full of stuff in my Google Calendar. I have everything in there, and then every single day I'm, adding or changing or swapping and if I didn't get something done one day, like today, if I didn't get whatever done, which that did happen, there was something I didn't get done, it's then like I've moved it and it's on tomorrow. So sometimes I may move something a week out or 2 weeks. It depends on what it is. But in other words, I'm constantly looking at that schedule. So the weather, I'm constantly watching to see what's happening or what's supposed to be happening anyways. And looking at that, because that dictates to me then, like what I need to be doing. Because like, say if tomorrow was going to rain all day, then I need to spend today doing, I would have needed to spend at least part of today focusing on things outside. That's what I try to do and get those things done, because then I will plan on being inside, of course, for the day tomorrow. So that's kind of what I do. Today, though, just let me tell you. So today, I'm like thoroughly wore out. I literally should have done this video earlier. I was planning on doing a different video earlier, but I thought I'll just go ahead and skip ahead to this so that at least I get a video out for today, because of the whole debacle with not really getting much done crochet wise, because I wanted to show you where I was at on that, and obviously I just showed you. I mean, I've gotten what, row 18 finished, plus 19, 20, 21, 22, and then almost 23. So so that's what I've gotten done that way. I'm sorry. And it's, y'all probably aren't even as hard on me as I am, because I am like, I get really frustrated with myself, and life, and yeah. So today, I knew I was dreading, like, I knew I had to leave here around 9:30 in the morning. I mean, this is after my daughter has to be at school before 8 o'clock, and we normally get her to school anywhere from 7:30 to 7:45 usually. So there's that quick trip, and then I usually come back home, sit down with my crochet. I make my coffee and I'm drinking that, and I'm starting to, because I need time with the arthritis that I have. Like, I have two different forms of arthritis, and then the sciatic nerve pain that I have daily, and like all that. I need time in the morning. I need time in the morning. My nose itches. So I need time in the morning to just like sit and it's it's drink my coffee, and I've got my get my pain pills in me so that I can try to function, y'all, for the day. It's no joke. Actually, speaking of that, the other morning I got up, and that's exactly, it was Sunday morning. I got up and my pain was so bad. I literally came downstairs and I just started crying because, oh my gosh, it was, and of course I'm like howling and stuff. My family's used to this stuff, so. And my daughter's always, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "No, I'm gonna die." Like, I mean, I do literally say that. I'm just like, "Oh my God, I'm dying," but she knows I don't actually mean that. But I mean, it really, yeah, it's bad. So we go through that off and on. But it was really bad the other morning. So anyway, the last 2 mornings have been much better, thankfully, even though not great, but I'll take it. Like, there's levels of, like, there's like the mainline pain, there's a little bit worse, and then there's just like off the charts pain. So, yeah, so I get her to school, um, and I sit and I crochet and I start watching y'all's videos. Those of you that are creators, you know what I mean. And get my inspiration and my fill of, of that, and sit and drink my coffee. But I have learned that for me, it's not only though to allow the pain med to, kick in for me, and so I can actually feel like functional. But it's the thing that meditatively, like, if that's even a word, that it's a because crocheting is such a peaceful thing for me. I have found it's almost a form of meditation for me, in that I sit down with my coffee and I just, you know, with crochet. So it's a good thing for me because then um, it helps me start the day with a peaceful, like, instead of, because there's a lot of stress in my life. So it really does help me. It's almost like decompressing into crochet and that kind of thing. So I do that. Well, this morning I had this appointment at 9:30. Well, no, excuse me. I had an appointment at 10:40. Okay. I left here about really right around 9:30 because I had to drive 45 minutes to this appointment. I don't like doing this stuff anymore by myself. I'm just going to be honest. Like, sure, I can do it. That's not the thing. But I don't know that it's like the older I get, y'all, and the more I have weaknesses, clearly, because I mean, and I'm talking about my physical, state with all my chronic illness. I just feel better. I feel better when my husband goes and he will drive, and because that's exactly, he goes, then he's going to be the driver, like. And then I can sit over there and I cannot stress about a million things while I'm driving. And I can just sit there in the other seat and crochet. But yeah, it was early this morning. He doesn't normally even get into bed, to be honest, till about 3 a.m. in the morning because of his work. So, you know, he knew I had this appointment. Of course, he forgot about it, though. Y'all, I didn't remind him because, I mean, he wasn't going, so it wasn't. So, yeah, I go. I have to make this 45-minute trip. Got my paperwork together for this 45-minute trip. And that's the only reason why, yeah, I drove 45 minutes is because I was going to the Social Security office to get my daughter and my Social Security card replaced, because if you've been watching, you know that my house burned down at the end of 2020. So those were two of the items that burned down in the house. And, you know, of course, there's a whole lot I could say about in another video. We'll talk about, and then probably in several videos actually, we'll talk about things in regards to, like, that's a whole thing. It's a whole huge thing, that whole house fire situation. But anyway, it stinks to turn around, and I've had to replace. I'm trying to think. I had to replace car titles, car keys, my driver's license, now Social Security cards, because I should have already done that. And the reason I had not done that, there were two reasons why I hadn't done that. Because, well, first of all, obviously the biggest one, I'd drive 45 minutes to the Social Security office to do it. So there was that. And then I didn't want to drive there not knowing what I needed, because I could read online, you know, what I needed to get a duplicate of mine, whatever, you know. The name was fine on it. Wasn't I was changing anything. I just um, they got destroyed, obviously. So um, it was no issue getting mine. I needed to find out what the heck I needed for my daughter, because I thought she doesn't have any form of ID, so I don't know what she's a minor, like. I don't know what to do for this. So I had called last week, and it took me like 20 minutes, I think, yeah, like to get through finally to a human being, because you get that automated service when you call them, which is, I just find that so annoying. I just want to talk to a real live person, you know. I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. So I talked to this lady. She was great. And she's, no problem. All you need is your driver's license for you. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I knew, like, I was good on that. But what do I need for her? So she just said, you know, I needed a school record for her. It has to have this, all this, and be in a, you know, signed, sealed envelope with the school on it. And then, okay. So I got that done. I had that as of yesterday, so I had that ready. And I was like, well, she didn't, the lady that did it for me didn't actually have, like, I don't know exactly the way that I was told it was, but the lady today took it. So I was just happy with that. Got that dealt with. Did not take very long at all. Thank the Lord, you know, but I had to make a 45-minute trip, which the thing is too, you know, basically that's an hour and a half out of my day between going there and coming back, okay? That right there for me, even if my husband was driving, it's exhausting, y'all, okay? Just, if I have to go to Cincinnati, or I don't have to go to Cincinnati, but I go to Cincinnati, that's like the same distance, okay? 45-minute trip. And it wears me out too. And it's not just that, it's the walking, and it's the getting in and out of the car, and just how many times. And so it's just, it's a lot. So I got that done though. So that ticks off something else on my box to get replaced. I had to replace our marriage certificate too. That was another thing I had to get. So just, yeah, giant pain. I think this is the last thing outside of, yeah, no, it should be the last, like, type of thing like that, I think. But at any rate, so I get that done. I had decided I'm going to go to Aldi's, because Aldi's is right there, like, behind the Social Security office. So I go over there, get some stuff. I get in there, and my leg is still not, it's too early in the morning. See, normally at this point in time, okay, y'all, I would still be sitting. Or I would have still been sitting till at least, like, you know, 9 or 9:30. But in other words, the point at which I had to leave. And I would have felt better. But then, too, I went there and I walked in there and I walked back out. And then I walked back in there and walked back out. I did do that because I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I just barely made it there. I was about to, yeah. I have overactive bladder, so, and I apologize if that's TMI. But anyway, so I had to, I did all that. But yeah, I just can't, my sciatic nerve, ever since, so it's like bad enough, period, regardless before this. But like, y'all know, I told you I fell, like I flew through the air at Long John Silver's. Heck, I think, what was that, probably 6 weeks ago now, or a month ago. I know at least a month ago. I want to say it's probably closer to 6 weeks, but I am still been, well, and then the weather, because I felt bad over the weekend too, because of the weather, like the pressure change. Um, so yeah, that's why Sunday morning I really was not. That was another reason why. Like I can feel that. Like y'all, and if you know what I mean. So anyway, went to Aldi. So I'm in there, and I mean immediately. Before I even get the cart in the store, like, which the cart's like, I gotta have I gotta have the cart regardless, even if I'm getting 2 items, because I can't carry stuff. I can't. I drop everything. I need the cart as my walker, to be really honest. So I'm walking in there, and the pain is really bad already to start with, and I literally, I went all over that store. So I don't know. It wasn't too far into the situation. I'm like literally, I'm dragging my right leg along, like literally dragging it. It actually, excuse me, it actually started to be a little better, well, a little better before I got out of the store. But then I barely got to the car, got my groceries in there. I didn't get a lot. I didn't get very much at all. I had like 2 bags. So get that done. I went through Taco Bell really quick. I got to tell you this story about this. So I go through Taco Bell really quick. I placed an order on my app just to run over there really quick and get some tacos. Because Taco Bell is literally, they're right there next to Aldi's. I'm like, that's fine. I'll just go there. Run over there. There is literally a girl. Like, bless her. There's a young girl out there. So apparently they're where you place, their speaker, where you place the order, and they have their menu in that. Apparently it wasn't working. And bless this girl, she's a young girl. She's sitting out there in a chair, well, in between cars and stuff when there was anybody. But then she'd get up and she was like coming to every single car. She has her mic on, to communicate with the others inside and that. And then she's even got like the card reader out there with her. And so I pull up there. It was really busy because it was right at noon, so it was lunchtime. So it started getting like really busy. There's like 4 or 5 cars, and I pull up there and I'm like, yeah, I gotta order and give her my name. So no problem. She was really sweet and fantastic, and I thought, oh my gosh, because it was pretty warm, and she was wearing all black, and she even had a black jacket on and a black sun visor, and I thought, she's probably getting really warm, seriously. So then I realized that my car says low fuel, and I'm like, I was hoping to at least make it back to the next town up, which is only 15 minutes from us. I was hoping to get back to there before I had to get gas, but it said low fuel, and I'm like, oh. So to go across the street, and here's another story for you. So I knew earlier, I was like, I gotta tell them about this, because I don't understand people, I swear. But I pull up the gas station, and on the cat corner from, here's the Taco Bell, the gas station's like, you go across 4 lanes on this highway, basically, to get over here on this corner. So I pull up there in behind this guy to get gas, you know. He's like driving a flatbed work type truck or whatever. So he literally, I look and I see there's a yellow thing on the pump there that's out of service. Like, oh, great. So he's going to get out and he's going to look at that and then he's going to whatever. Oh, no. When he got out and it looked like he was going to walk around, you know, to the pump sitting here, and he's like walking around this way. Then he goes on in to the gas station, y'all. Okay. And his truck is just barely like, he didn't pull up far enough that my little car can get up to the dang, to reach the gas pump. And I'm like, you're kidding, because if I could just pull up a little bit more. But no, he didn't pull up far enough. Like the main portion of him is like hanging back towards the other pump where I was at. I thought, oh my gosh, really? Because this, I thought was going to be so easy because I could just pull in that way and get the gas. Because then the road to go out is then go straight, you know, on through there, out, back out to the highway. No. So here I am, I'm sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm thinking, and nobody's coming up to the other 2 pumps on the other side. So I'm like, should I do it or not? So I have to back up to turn around, like back around to pump on the other side if I'm going to do that. So I finally decide to do that. And I'm literally backing up to the pump, y'all. And he finally walks out of the gas station. I'm like, I was irritated because I just wanted to get my gas and come home. And I mean, I wasn't really trying to be like hugely impatient, but I found that to be seriously rude. Like, who does that? And just, oh well, like, and I mean, it's a tiny gas station too. There's only 4 pumps there. Like, I don't. So yeah, I got backed up there right about the time as he was then getting in his truck. And I thought, I was just so irritated, y'all. So I finally get my gas, and then I like to never got back out on the highway because then, so after I did that, then I had to turn around and go back around the pump. You know, I had to back up the other way to go back out to the highway over here. And then when you go back out to the highway, I needed to go this way, but you can only go, you can only go that way. So I just keep. So all this traffic, the light right down here just let loose. All this traffic's coming. Of course, by the time I pull up there. Just sit there and wait. And then, it's like I said, it's around lunchtime. So it's like Cincinnati down there. Where was that? Madison. It's very heavy traffic. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get out of here. Because, like, I got to get out and go that way. And then I'm going to have to, like, literally jut over into the leftmost lane to take a left, to pull in somewhere, to turn around and find the correct direction. So, yeah, that took a few minutes, let's say. So that was frustrating, but yeah, I did that. And then, so when I got back to the other town, I felt like I was home even though I wasn't home. I don't like, I was like, I just want to be home. So I got done what I needed to get done. I did not get home. Oh my gosh. I try not to yawn. I don't know. I tell you, I'm seriously wore out. And very shortly, we're going to just go to bed. But I want to get get a video out. And tomorrow I will be back with a whip video. Whips to show you of some sort. Let's see what it is. I don't know yet. Sort of. But yeah, it was a long day. So, I mean, I didn't get home till after 1. And then, like, I barely saw my husband because then he had to turn around and go to work. So, yeah, but So then there was only like, yeah, it was probably closer to 1:30. So, then there wasn't a whole lot of time before my daughter got home because she gets home just a little after 3 o'clock. So, yeah, I was just exhausted by the time I got back. And then my whole day has been like, and I've been itching to do something, and I sat down to try to crochet, and then, like I told you how that worked out. So I did get one filing cabinet moved back back in the back room, though. I should say the second filing cabinet, because my husband, he already moved the first one weeks ago. So I've got it back there. I've just got to move it a little bit more to get it like up against the wall. So that looks better. But tomorrow is literally going to be a chill day. Like, it's outside of, I've got to go to the library and print some papers and go to the post office. I'm not running like 500 errands in the morning, so I will be back tomorrow. I hope that y'all have been having a wonderful week. I hope it's beautiful where you're at, because, like I said, it has been perfect here. It was supposed to rain at the beginning of the week, and then that keeps going further and further. Like, yeah, every day I check it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. So hopefully your weather is great too. And I apologize if it's too hot where you're at, because I know someone had said a while back that it was 90 something degrees where they are. That's too hot in my opinion. So if that's the case, then try to stay cool. So I will see you next time. Love you all. Bye now. God bless.